While Madison Beer may only be in her early 20s at the time of this recording, she's already living quite the life of luxury. Hot off her growing success, Madison already scored herself her very own LA mansion in 2020 for $5 million, and just wait until you see it. In these videos, we don't reveal any addresses, and even though I've done a house tour of my own place, please do not show up at any private residences because it's not safe for anyone. Madison Beer has been a household name ever since she was only 13. That's how old she was when she first went viral after Justin Bieber shared a tweet along with a link of her singing various covers on YouTube from the comfort of her bedroom. Since that moment, Madison has managed to transform herself from a singer into one of social media's biggest stars. Sure, her journey might have started off thanks to her singing and songwriting ability, but after becoming one of the fastest rising stars in the music industry, Madison would test out her crossover appeal by becoming an actress, appearing in films like Louder Than Words in 2013. After she experienced success both on stage and in front of the camera, next, she'd go on to become a major league influencer. Seriously, she's got nearly 30 million followers on Instagram, not to mention a lucrative cosmetics collaboration with Morphe. And while juggling so many different types of creative hats can be hard to do, it can also pay off big time. That's why, according to Celebrity Net Worth, Madison has already earned herself a bank account in the $16 million range. Hey guys, it's Kara, back with another exclusive house tour here on Famous Entertainment, in this one checking out the impressive Encino home of Madison Beer. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit me up on Instagram to chat. Now let's get into this video. The Los Angeles, California neighborhood known as Encino has always been upscale. Well, I mean, except for that one time Pauly Shore, Brendan Fraser, and Sean Astin all moved in during the early 90s. But since then, the area's dramatic transformation from being the black sheep of Southern California's real estate market to becoming the favorite resting spot of some of Hollywood's biggest and brightest has come full circle. These days, there's a mix of Hollywood's old and new living here with as varying a crowd as you could possibly imagine. Seriously, where else could you find singers like Selena Gomez, Gwen Stefani, and Kelly Clarkson, mixing it up with YouTube royalty like James Charles and Logan Paul? That's just a taste of the clientele living in the 9.5 square mile radius of Encino, and now Madison Beer gets to add her name to this list too after paying nearly $5.6 million for an all-new residence. Described as a modern farmhouse, this estate was custom built from scratch, and the first hint that Madison was considering moving in came when the paparazzi tracked her down outside of it when the home was still deep under construction. Apparently, it must have passed Madison's inspection because soon after she was signing on the dotted line and moving all her stuff in. Now, because this house was never officially on the market, photos and details about the interior of the home are notably few and far between. However, permits reveal that this two-story charcoal-colored home was built by a local family of real estate investors and completed in early 2021, replacing a much older and far more humble residence. Upon its completion, the home was presented to Madison and she jumped at the chance to live here. In terms of the exterior of this place, it not only includes a two-car garage, but a backyard guest house and a covered poolside cabana. Naturally, considering the cabana, there's also a swimming pool with an inset spa. There's even enough room out here for a large rectangular trampoline. Meanwhile, the entire perimeter of the home is walled, gated, and fortified with the latest in sophisticated security to allow for ample protection and privacy. Moving on to the inside, this modern-styled farmhouse boasts a light and bright interior with wheat-colored hardwood floors, open living spaces, soaring windows, and a kitchen stocked with all the latest and greatest when it comes to designer appliances. Now, if you're looking for something a little more specific, all I can do is give you a taste of a few different rooms. For instance, that open concept I just mentioned seems alive and well in Madison's living room, where a gigantic white sofa takes up the majority of the space. Seriously, Madison's ridiculously cute pet dog Bowie could easily get lost on this thing. As for her bedroom, well, it's a pretty magical place place in its own right, and Madison has always been one to strike the perfect mood in her most private of spaces, with some truly perfect mood lighting. Plus, whether she's relaxing on one of her 2 couches or luxuriating on her gigantic mattress, I can't imagine her being anything but comfortable. And then there's that massive walk-in closet that's got more outfits in it than most Hollywood boutiques. Finally, being the big-time recording artist that she is, Madison also has her very own custom recording space located in her house, and it's got everything that she could possibly need to produce a hit album from her home base. When it comes to further specific features of her house, we'll just have to keep our eyes peeled and hope that Madison one day gives us a tour, not unlike how she showed off her former bedroom back in 2020. Speaking of that, how about we take a few minutes to take a look at her old room before we call it a day? At an earlier stage of her career, Madison was still living in a small apartment, one she would occasionally let her fans have a sneak peek at through social media. She not only did this back in 2016, but once again in 2020, just before she moved out for good. Since her tour from 2020 is the most recent, let's take a look at her former space. The first thing that stands out to me is Madison's use of LED lighting along the ceiling's edge. It's definitely a unique touch and something that she seems to have carried over into her new home. Just to the left of her door, Madison kept a stack of vintage Playboy magazines, which I can only imagine she checked out for their spectacular, in-depth reporting. Beyond that is her far larger collection of makeup and perfume. A few steps from there is Madison's ensuite bathroom, but you'd be excused for thinking it was maybe some type of spaceship with that intense blue lighting. I mean, that lighting is probably a lot more calming when you're actually standing in the middle of it. Opposite the bathroom is the rest of Madison's room that boasts a gigantic white bed that she's probably also brought along with her to her new home, as well as a wall-mounted TV. The TV is sandwiched between 2 large bookcases here, which she actually built on her own. The shelves of those bookcases hold all of the most important things in Madison's life, including her favorite stuffed animals, toys, books, and movies. And then there's her closet, which contains an endless series of fits inside a couple massive wardrobes. And if you think that's a lot of clothes, well, then you should check out the entire guest bedroom that Madison turned into an extension of her closet. She even turned an entire wall of that room into a catalog for previous outfits, so that if she was ever running out of time, then she already knows what works. Come to think of it, that's actually a super smart idea, and one that I might soon be stealing upon moving into my own new home. Alright guys, that's gonna bring this latest house tour to a close. What did you guys think about the homes of Madison Beer? Are you surprised it took her nearly 10 years to buy a place of her own after making it as a star? Well, I think 22 is still a super young age to buy a mansion so impressive, so I'm really not that surprised. What did you like most about either of her spaces? Well, be sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, and I will see each and every one of you in our next video. Bye!